when it comes to business, you need to put your own spin on anything that you do. Doesn't matter what it is.
Guys, you've got to get to a stage where you hate where you are to move, if that makes sense. Like, I got sick and tired of crying every day, so I had to get up and, you know what I mean, do something.
So I feel like people compare themselves so much, and it's because of what they see on a regular basis.
I was heartbroken and jobless.
That's a bad combo.
That's a bad combo. To make it about you, it was actually talking about. It was actually talking.
Right.
No, it was actually talking about me.
A lot of this episode is going to be about you anyway. So.
No, it's not.
I noticed you got a higher chair as well.
Yes, because this is my podcast.
That makes a lot of sense. And you know what? It just balances out anyway.
Oh, because I'm.
There you go. There you go.
No, I didn't finish it.
Okay.
Because if you think about it,
I'm thinking.
I'm not sure.
Oh.
You're just a giant.
How tall are you?
Then ask questions. 5 foot.
Yeah.
And 2 inches.
That is classified as short.
So
I'm average height for basketball players. That's it. But then you're just short. That's it. So we're just at 2 ends of the spectrum. That's it.
No. I'm normal. As I said, you are a giant.
Yeah.
And because, like, there's not many giants in the world, you are the abnormal one.
So you're just calling me weird. That's how we're starting this.
Yeah, that's not very nice, is it? Because we're
not
actually
nice
mates.
at all. Word.
Please don't shoot it. Are we rolling? Because I want them to see this nonsense.
Oh, amazing. Hello, people.
No. See, usually when we do this, right, the other person does this. But Jonathan, oh my gosh, I said his name.
That's my name.
Hi guys, welcome to another episode of Do Drum Roll with me. The Generations podcast. I actually have a special. I'm actually going to call him special. I don't want to because his head's like enlarging right now, but he is actually very special.
Thank you.
Shall I do the introduction?
Yes.
I should. Okay, so he's a giant. That's how I like to refer to him. He's a giant, but aside from being a giant, he's actually a great person. He's actually really helped on this podcast journey. And if you have a podcast and, you know, you don't really want to do all that back end stuff, then he's actually the person to go to. But we're going to get into that later. I met him, how long ago? Hasn't even been that long.
It was, what, as in person?
No, like virtually. Because we met virtually first.
Just months in it. I don't know, maybe like 4 months, 3 months.
That's so short. It's because I'm a vibe. That's why this happened. What, do you disagree?
No, you are still. You are.
Thank you. So I met him like 3-4 months ago.
Yeah.
I think I first connected with his I'm gonna say podcast buddy. Is that like
podcast
is that
buddy?
not good?
No, that's my brother, Rob. Big up Coach Klitzy, man. Podcast
no,
buddy.
I actually really love Rob, so there's no disrespect there, but I just didn't know what you call somebody that.
Yeah, that's my boy.
That's his boy.
And we happen to have a podcast.
And they happen to have a podcast.
Business partner, even.
You know what? Business partner, brother.
Yes.
Podcast buddy.
Yes. Or no, but yes.
Okay, no, I'm trying to do the introduction.
Oh, sorry, go on.
So yes, so I connected with Rob first. Then obviously I on his profile, I said, okay, purpose what's this? Clicked on that, and I was like, oh, YouTube. I said, this giant looks cool. Followed the giant. Didn't really speak to him at first. Then I think you posted a question. You don't remember what I do. You posted a question. It was to do with gym, I think, something like that.
Okay.
And I already told people in like one of my first episodes, I'm not a beg, yeah, but if I think somebody's cool, I feel no type of way to attempt to connect with them. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, I messaged you from there, and then at that time, I think I was planning an event that I wanted Perpetrator to come and speak at.
Yes, you were. Yeah.
So we connected from then, and then he realized that I'm such an amazing person and that he really wanted to be my friend. And now here we are.
Okay, that's how it went.
Yeah? Oh, do you have a different version?
No, that's how it went. Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, let's get into this, right?
Okay,
the first question I want to ask you.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
I didn't know it was straight in. I thought it was just like, how was your day? You know what I mean? But it's fine. You don't want to know.
You know what? I really actually don't do that because I didn't ask you how your day was.
I thought we were doing it on camera. I didn't know.
Okay, Jonathan. How was your day?
My day was really busy.
Go and tell me about
it. A lot happened. So first of all, I went for a run. I've just started running because I started boxing.
So did I.
Oh, you started boxing?
No.
Oh, right. Where did you start then?
But I do know how to.
Oh, you know how to box?
Right. Jab.
Wrong hand. depending on what hand you are.
I'm right-handed.
Wrong hand.
Jab.
There you go.
Cross.
There you go.
Uppercut.
That's the one. Basically just complete boxing.
You need boxing lessons. Look no further.
You know what I mean?
Anyway, that was so rude I interrupted you. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I did that. Started running. Then after I ran, went gym, back on biceps. Then after that, I communicated with my team. podcast team and such. For my business, not for the actual podcast. And then after that, and I know it's actually a Saturday as well, but they're still
work on the
still
weekends.
going. I do. We do.
We do.
Matter of fact. And then after that, I went home, had some food. Then actually when I was at the gym,
what food did you have?
I had some. It was actually mackerel and rice. Your mackerel and rice. Salmon and rice. It was not mackerel. I'm so sorry.
And how was it?
Because seafood is just seafood to me.
No.
It's just seafood.
Every
but it was really
fish
good. It was actually really good.
Because I can.
Probably actually made me a little bit of food in it. It was very, very nice.
It's my way of saying thank you.
Yes.
Anyway.
And you're welcome. And then after that, after I had the food, I then went to. No, it was before I even had the food. I did like the whole sauna stuff, the spa stuff.
Yes.
And after that, I had the food. Then after that, I went barbers.
Yeah.
Then after I went barbers, then you know what I mean. Then I came here, and here we are.
And here we are.
You know what I'm saying? I met William. Big up yourself, bro.
Yeah. Now we're here.
Come on.
Amazing. So the first question I have, who is Jonathan?
Me, I am.
No, the man behind you.
Me, I am a person. I guess. Well, what do I do? Or...
Nah. Do you know why I asked who are you?
I don't know how to answer that question.
Yeah, exactly. People always say what they do,
Yeah.
and what you do is not who you are.
Yeah.
So oftentimes, somebody asks me, I say I'm a lover of people and a lover of Jesus. That's how I describe myself. So try not to.
Try not to say what I do.
Yeah.
Okay. I like this exercise. It's good. I'd say son of God. And son of my parents. Brother to my sisters. See what I mean?
Yeah.
And yeah, that's about it really. I don't know what else to say.
And no, that's why I asked, because it actually is thought-provoking.
It is.
You need to actually think, like, who am I?
Because more time I'll just say what I do.
100%, but that's not who you are. That's simply what you do.
Exactly.
But you know what? We'll continue the conversation and revisit. I'm gonna ask you this again at the end of the podcast. So keep it locked in the back of.
I will.
Right in the middle.
Right in the middle.
Yeah, keep
I'll
it there.
do that.
Okay, so what was Jonathan like when he was younger?
Energetic, very, very energetic. Just energy and a lot of it. I liked. What did I even like? I like playing games. As in, like, Xbox and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I like people. Like, I like my friends. I like being with my friends, chilling with my friends.
That's so cute. So do I. Shout out our friends.
What else did I used to like? I don't know. I was just energetic, charismatic as well. I mean, I was told, innit? I'm not just saying that, but I was told I was charismatic.
Nah, it still comes through.
Wasn't very academic.
Serious? No way.
Nah, not really.
You did not strike me like that.
I wasn't that I wasn't academic.
Yeah, you give.
I was academic.
You give me academic studious vibes. You give me the vibes. Yeah, this is how I was in school.
Talk to me.
I would have done my homework and done the work, but I'm talking to somebody who hasn't done their homework or done the work. So like we both get in trouble.
Yeah.
But the teacher's like, say her name's Julie. Julie, Nashada's actually done the homework and done the work. What about you?
Yeah.
It was really bad because like I'm cackling away, but I've actually done the work.
Yeah, I was the one you were talking to.
The one that hasn't done the work.
Yeah, that was me.
So not even one subject you're like really good at.
Photography.
Oh yeah, we're gonna talk about that.
Yeah.
But all like maths, English, science.
I was just average.
Seriously?
Yeah, I was just average at all of them.
You said 8.
Huh? Set 8, that's a good set, no?
No, it's the lowest set.
Set 8 is the best set.
Are you okay?
Am I crazy?
Yes, set
8.
Like set 8 was an insult.
Oh, set 8. I thought you said set A. I
no,
said ABC.
No, set 8. Like I remember that being an insult back in the day. Like you're set 8. That just shut everybody up straight.
Nah, never. I think it only went up to set 4 in our school. I think the lowest set I was in was probably set 3 in year 9. Then I went to set 2 the next year. So it was just like, because I was just average, innit? So I wouldn't say I was amazing or I wouldn't say I was terrible. Because it was like, okay, the work is in front of me, I'll just do it. But I didn't want to do it.
Oh, you didn't like? How does your brain work then? Were you not? Because when I like look back now at schools, there wasn't really more than one way of teaching, if that made sense. Like it's literally just, we're going to teach you this way, regardless of how you learn. So was that the case with you? Like, do you know what type of learner you are?
No. Actually, I think I'm a video or visual learner. And an audible learner as well, or audio learner or something like that. Okay. Because I don't know, because I listen to a lot of podcasts in it, and I learned that way. And then I listen to audiobooks as well, and I learned that way too. But for me, I've realised it's just a thing of just repeating, and repetition. So if I just hear information over and over, it will just stick in. Like when I hear a song, I'm able to just kind of like recite. And my sister's a bit like that, but she's quicker than me. She's able to recite things. Like she'll hear a song once and just be singing it.
So she was she good in school then, like studious?
Not really, actually. Only one of my sisters. I got 3 sisters. The youngest one was like the most studious, and she still is the most studious. Yeah. Okay. She's the only one of us that is gonna go to uni, unless I decide at one point.
Wow.
To go uni.
So everybody else has not gone to uni.
Oh, I
hear it. I always tell people like Unless you need it, don't go.
That's exactly what
and
I
say. Think those type of professions are what? Just like medical professions, isn't it? I don't know.
There's like medicine. There's also obviously law, that kind of stuff, which you need a degree for.
Correct.
So I was gonna go uni, but wait, are we there yet? Shall I
go
there?
No, it's a conversation. Let's go.
I was gonna go uni.
Yeah.
I got what's the one now? Unconditional for Portsmouth.
Okay.
But that degree was creative media technologies.
Okay.
I don't know if you know what that means.
That sounds nice. No?
It's not. It's literally just. Oh, sorry, no disrespect to anyone that does that. But I looked at it. It was like, okay, how to make a YouTube video.
And you can learn that just instead of paying $9,000 a year, boy.
You see what I'm saying? I'm like, okay, obviously that's not what it was, but it looked very basic, and it's I can learn this stuff online if I wanted to. I don't need a degree for this.
Which you did, which we'll get into.
Come on. So I looked at that and I was like, I don't know. But I wanted to go away to just be away from the family, all that kind of stuff. You know how it is, isn't it?
Me too.
So I was deciding between apprenticeship or just going into uni. And I was like, I just took a gap year. That gap year wasn't really a gap year. I just worked at Sainsbury's.
Is it?
That's it. Oh, actually, no, I didn't. It wasn't just Sainsbury's because I was doing photo shoots and stuff in that time too. So I was developing there too. So at that time, I was like, okay, I could go into the photography thing full time, or I can go do a marketing apprenticeship. I'm not too sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, just after that, I went into the marketing apprenticeship.
Yeah.
And then from the marketing apprenticeship, but whilst I was doing the marketing apprenticeship, I was still doing photography, shot some weddings and stuff like that, behind the scenes and some stuff. You know what I mean? And then after that, then obviously I started my business.
Okay, let's backtrack to this. Where did like your love for photography come from, if you remember?
I do remember actually. It was I think I was like 9, 8 or 9, and then Sony Ericssons. I don't know if you know about the Sony Ericsson, which had like the camera at the back, which you could like flip. Of course you do. And my dad gave me one of those. Okay. I think that was his work phone that he just didn't use anymore. It was a phone, yeah. Sorry, it was a phone. So, you didn't know Sony Ericsson was a phone? Oh wow. Okay. Anyway, sorry.
I'm checking that. I didn't know.
Right. So Sony Ericsson had the Sony Ericsson.
Yeah.
It was like a brick phone. Shy. Yeah. So it's like when I was holding it, it was like this in my hand. It was mad. Yeah. And of course you open the shutter, close the shutter. But this was like the high tech at the time. Okay. So this was the thing, like the thing at the time. For real. And then when you open it up, obviously you got the flash, you got the camera, whatever. It was like 7 megapixels or something like that, which was crazy at the time. But now our stuff is like 40 megapixels or whatever.
Didn't know that, but thank you.
Many more megapixels.
Yeah.
But
what is that?
It sounds like fireworks or something. Yeah.
So disrespectful.
All right. Celebration. So I was taking pictures with that just at different places. Yeah. And my dad and my mum were like, "Oh, this is pretty good." So it's to different people.
We love parents.
And they were like, "This is really good." And I big up my parents all the time because they supported me and they said, "Okay, you just do what you want to do, but just do something in it."
That's big.
That's what they always said. But they just looked at what I was doing. They were like, "Oh, yeah, these are actually good." Other people were saying it was good. And then after that, I just kept doing it, kept taking pictures on whatever phone I had. Whatever phone my mum had as well, because they would always have better phones than me. I didn't have one like when I was younger. Yeah, except for that one. Exactly. Back then, yeah. And then after that, what else did I do? Oh yeah, then I started shooting a little bit more. I think I used someone else's camera to shoot at my cousin's wedding. Big up Osha. I shot my cousin's wedding. Sorry.
Okay.
And when I shot there,
really?
Yeah, but I wasn't the main photographer.
Okay, yeah.
I was just a kid with a camera, right? And they just said, "You just do what you want to do in it," because they knew I could shoot.
How old were you?
Ooh. Maybe I'm just going too fast. I think this might have been GCSE. I went for GCSE year 10. Was it 10 that you started GCSE?
I think you picking year 9 or so.
Picking year 9, yeah, so 10.
Yeah, 10
started it in 10.
Yeah.
And then when I started GCSEs, I picked photography because I was interested in it from young. Yeah. And then I didn't really like my teacher. Yeah, but that's the only... That Edna. One. Yeah, that one. She looked like Edna from Incredibles. I didn't really like it because of her. She was the only reason I didn't really like it. But I still appreciate the subject because the people in the subject, they were cool. Like the people I was shooting with, they were cool. So she didn't even teach me how to actually take photos on a manual. What was she there for? She was just there for bad vibes. Literally. That's basically it. Sounds like. And to just tell me what to do and sketchbooks and everything there, whatever. Yeah. My guy, he was in the class, Jules. Big up Jules. I'm going to be bringing up a lot of people today.
As you should.
Now, I mean, a lot of people have been there on a journey. But yeah, so Jules was there. He was the one who actually taught me how to shoot a manual. Do you know what manual is?
No, but I just.
So you know when you have a camera, right? You have like automatic mode, so you just point and shoot.
Okay. Yes.
That's automatic.
That's automatic. So what's manual?
Manual is when you control everything to do with what's going on with the camera. So like the shutter speed, the ISO,
that sounds long.
I thought it was long as well until he told me how to do it. He taught me when a teacher should have done that.
Who's this again?
Jules.
Big you up, Jules.
Big you up, Jules.
That's really good.
You know what I mean? Big up, Jules.
Okay, so not even Edna.
Not even. No, she didn't.
What's she getting paid for?
I don't know. It's just bad vibes.
Bad vibes.
It was maybe no one else wanted to do the job. I don't know. But yeah, Jules taught me.
Yeah.
And after that, just started taking more and more pictures here and there. And then I shot at my cousin's wedding. Nice. And this was with the camera that my godfather and my dad got for me.
Oh, big you guys.
Yeah. So with that camera, that is what I used for my cousin's wedding. Okay. And then when the wedding to finish or whatever, and the pictures were sent, I was just shooting away.
Yeah,
with
just
my,
having fun
with my cousins
really.
in it. You know what I mean? With my cousins, I was just shooting away, taking some pictures here and there. I think I might have borrowed like some sort of a lens or something like that. And then after that, when all the pictures got sent to them, they're like, "These are really good.
These are actually good.
Like some of these are better than
shot?
I was like, "Oh, all right, that's cool." You know what I mean?
Oh, you weren't like.
It was like, you know what I mean? I was just like, okay, that's, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And they were like, but then what they said, which was different, was like, oh yeah, some of these are better than what the actual photography we paid.
Stop it. Yeah. And this is you at 15, 16.
Yeah.
That's so raw talent, like, you know?
Okay, so maybe this could be something. And yeah, that's kind of where the photography came from.
Wow. You know what? Okay, that's really good. But something I've taken from what you said is how important it is to have people who affirm you on the journey.
100%.
Because that's why, it's so important. It's what I'm going to do with my kids. Like, it's one thing, I'm going to talk about black people, yeah? The kids will draw something and they will actually tell the kid that it's not good, there's something wrong. Whereas, you know, the other races, right? Charlie, that is so good, honey. Dan, look at that. It's so good. But that's what kids need. Like, we need affirmation, like, during, like, whilst we're growing up. So, that's solid. So, for people who are trying to build, get around people that affirm you. And I'm not saying, like, yes men, but people who, you know what, bro, that's actually really good. Because that gives you confidence in yourself. Do you know what I mean? Even with, like, cakes. I never used to think I was that good.
Yeah.
I mean, my first cake, it was... To some people, it's really amazing. But because I'm really good at it now.
Yeah.
Looking back, I'm like, yeah, that was dead. But it helped along the way. Nash, like, your cakes are really good. Like, this is amazing. It helps. So, yeah, when building, get around people that affirm you. When did you realise that photography wasn't, like, something you wanted to pursue? Because obviously, now you have a business. That's not it. So, when was it like, nah, I don't want to do this?
That I didn't want to do photography.
Yeah, as like a business. Because you said during your gap year, you was doing Sainsbury's and, like, dabbling in photography.
Yeah. So I was doing Sainsbury's and then dabbling in photography. The page is Reid Visuals if you're interested. REID Visuals.
Actually, no, you showed me. Solid. That's actually amazing. Very cool.
Appreciate you.
Sorry, continue.
Yeah, Reid Visuals, that was a page.
Yeah.
And then I started building that up, started putting my work on there, started shooting at different places as well. I got an opportunity to go shoot at Nux, at his, you don't know who that is, you don't need music. This guy is called Nux, right? He does music. Huh? KNUCKS.
No. I was going to say, I know.
You do not.
It's okay.
But he was a very talented, he still is a very talented artist, you know what I mean? And I used to listen to him when I was very, very young. Very young, but like 16, when I was like 16, I was listening to his stuff.
Yeah.
And I saw the opportunity come up. And the only reason I got the opportunity was because of someone that I met. And I met that through one of my people. Met her through one of my people, sorry. Big up Mons.
Big you up.
Which is the one I met. But the one who put me in contact with her is Matt, the one I go running with.
Oh,
yes.
Very nice. Okay, look
See
at
what
that.
See what I'm saying? So I must have been in the gym one time with him. He's a personal trainer. And I was shooting content for him.
So what's his page and stuff?
True Fitness London, TRU Fitness London, ODM.
Do that as you please people.
You know what I mean? So I was in the gym with him one time shooting content for him.
Yeah.
The photography, videography thing. That's when I was still doing it.
Yeah.
And then this girl came up to us, and then he knew her, and he introduced me with her, and she was in the creative industry, and he knew that I was in the creative industry, and he said, exactly. And then when I started speaking to her more, because she was mad cool, still is mad cool. When I started speaking to her more, then she introduced me to this thing called the guest list.
Okay, I don't know what
which is it's like an email list, right, for creatives in London.
That's good.
Which sends like loads of different opportunities to it, right?
That still exists, right?
Still exists. I still get emails.
How does one get involved in?
You have to be invited by someone who's already in the guest list. It's like an invite only thing.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, and you have to be doing something.
Oh, like already?
So this is this is the person. This is Nashada. Nashada does this. Can she be added?
Okay.
They're like, okay, yeah, cool, she can be added. So and then I got added because of the photography and such.
Yeah.
And then through there, I was able to find that opportunity for the Nux shoot, and they actually wanted extras on that day. They didn't want another photographer.
Oh, extras in to like be in the video.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And I'm like, I'm not an actor. I'm not trying to be on the screen, but can I bring my camera and come through? They're like, yeah, cool. So I went down there.
That was solid. Closed mouths don't get fed.
Exactly. And the opportunity only came to me because of my people then putting me in contact with other people.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You got to be around good people.
Exactly. Always. Environment is key.
Yeah.
And then after that, went to the place there. It was on an estate which I was not familiar with. In a completely different part of London. And I had all my gear on me. But it was still amazing though. And I met some really, really good people.
Yeah, I have to go back. When did you know, okay, I don't want to pursue photography as
yes, we were supposed to be there. When I knew that I didn't want to pursue it there was one point where it was like, there was this one shoot I was on, which was a wedding, and it was an arranged marriage. And I was like, when I was there and I was shooting, I was like, I can't do this. I can't do this. But obviously that's arranged marriages. There's so many other different type of shoots.
100%.
And then there must have been another shoot, like maybe a couple months later or something like that. And then I don't know how to explain it. They were really cool peoples, and I even still speak to the person that even had me that day, to this day. But I don't know how to explain it, but you just feel like they help.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's like, but no one knows.
Long day.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, but then it just feels like you're their help. You're just there to just. Which
be
you
extra
are there
pair
to
of
just
hands.
exactly to just do a job, to just do something. But and you are, but I just didn't like that feeling.
100%.
So I'd rather felt like I'm in control of stuff and I can actually make a valuable change in someone's business or someone's event or whatever. So that's what actually made me say, okay, cool, maybe this isn't for me. Like maybe I don't want to take this, to the next stage. Because I could have gone further with it, but
still can if you decide to now.
If I really want to, I can.
Talent,
exactly. Like you with cooking. Like if you want to go further with cooking, you will go further with cooking, much further.
Absolutely not.
Well, there you go. And you have the talent for it.
But that's what annoys me sometimes. Like, you know why it annoys me? Because that industry, you can rake it in, especially if you're good, you got a good team, you know what you're doing. So it annoys me because it's just like, I know I could be making some good money off of this talent.
Yeah.
But I've been there, done that, tried that, and did not like it. Like, it actually made me, running a business and making cakes and food made me actually hate it at one point. I still hate cakes.
Yeah.
Cooking, I'll never stop loving cooking.
Yeah.
I always say it's in my DNA, because my dad was a chef.
All right.
Yeah, most people don't know this. So I genuinely believe it's running through my blood, cooking. Do you know what I mean?
Are you good at it?
Very, very good at it. So, yeah, it annoys me sometimes. But then sometimes I think and I'm saying, no, it's cool because it's in life, you need something that you just enjoy that's not attached to anything. Do you know what I mean? That can bring, I don't know, peace or happiness or whatever. And yeah, I've adopted it as my love language. Like one of my love languages is cooking for people. One of my main ones. Anyway, sidetracks, not about me today.
Oh yeah, we'll go on to that actually. Because what you were so I'm not trying to take over your podcast or anything. But you were talking about how you love cooking. And then with cooking, that's another thing. That's one thing I wanted to say. So with your cooking and you building a business through cooking and such, you developed a lot of skills that you're utilizing now with what you're doing.
Such as? Tell me. Oh, you're asking me, you're telling me?
I could do both, innit? But I'll tell you, you most likely learn how to be talk to customers, clients,
correct.
right?
Yeah.
You learn how to do sales, you learn how to do marketing.
True.
You learn how to actually build a page, a social media page.
That's actually so true.
So all these things you've learned, you can actually apply to what you're doing right now with TGP. Do you know what I'm saying? And all the other things that you're going to be doing as well. You see what I'm saying? All of this stuff that is actually, everything that you've done is cultivating you for the women that you're going to become.
100%.
I didn't even mean to rhyme. That just happened. It just happened.
Well done, Jonathan. You're so amazing, just spectacular. Anyway, but no, that's actually so true. But I link that to God. That's how God operates. Amen. I was listening to a sermon the other day by Jackie Hill Perry. I showed you her the other day.
You did indeed.
And she was talking about this story about what's his face again? Abraham. Don't know if you know the story, but God asked Abraham to sacrifice his son, which was a very big sacrifice because this is the son that Abraham had been praying for years. At this time, Abraham was definitely over 100. Sarai was over 90. And he had another son, but he wasn't in contact with this son because he obtained that son through measures that he shouldn't have because he slept with their mistress at the time. So they help at the time. But anyway, long story short, the lady who ran the sermon, she was like, although this sacrifice was hard for Abraham, God had created like a culture of asking him to do difficult things throughout his whole life. So when this point came, he was somewhat prepared because throughout his earlier life, he had a history of making very hard decisions. That's kind of similar to what we're saying with now. Like, don't despise humble beginnings, but just know that everything is actually working for you.
100%.
Like, things are not actually happening to you. They're only happening to you when you sit and you're like, oh my God. Which, you know what? I've been there, done that. Don't know if you have.
100%.
I spent years doing that. I spent years blaming my parents, which if you actually want to grow and build, you got to get over blaming your parents. Like, you got to get to a stage where, okay, they didn't do this for me. Now what am I going to do about it?
Yeah, things are not happening for you. No, sorry, things are not happening to you. They're happening for you.
Literally, but it's...
Oh, sorry, go on.
No, usually, like, back in the day, they did Jinx, Padlock.
Yeah. 1, 2, 3. Yeah.
Oh, you actually know.
Oh, 100, I've got sisters, man.
You go first. This is your time.
I was just gonna say, there's many like actual lessons in that story. Yeah. So you see that son that he had, with the mistress and such. Yeah. That one there, that's just rushing the process. He rushed the process on that one, and then look what happened. He didn't even like the product of it. That's what happens when you rush the process. It's true. Honestly.
I've tried that many times as well, but I'm at a stage in life where I actually try to genuinely learn something from everything that happens to me. Like, genuinely, like, I was even telling you the other day, I was on my jog. I went to jog for the first time, and obviously, being me, I'm excited, innit? Like, I'm a black girl jogging. Like, when do you ever see a black girl jogging? So I decided to sprint. Why am I running? It's called a jog. Take your time. So I stopped a solid about like 9 to 10 times on that jog. But understandably, my stamina is actually in the bin, and it's my first time jogging.
For now.
Yes. Did it the day after, and I remembered everything that the coach, because there's a coach of the app.
Oh, the Nat Run app.
Yes, said at the time, implemented it, and I think I only stopped about 2 times. And so I put into my women's community. If you guys are not in that, you need to be in that.
What's it called?
It's cool. Okay, thanks. It's called the Better You Home. All about just supporting and helping women build, really, but ultimately helping them become their better version. But even as I was thinking about it yesterday, it's not even helping them to become their better version. It's actually helping them to become their authentic version.
Right.
Because oftentimes the version that's presented before us today is a result of just like life. Do you know what I mean? Trauma. So that's not actually your authentic version, the version that God created you to be.
Yeah.
So I always tell the girl, she's in there, and I always say, my job is not to pull her out. My job is just to speak to her, create an atmosphere and a culture by where she can come out. But it's your job to bring her out. Only you can do that. I can't do that for you. So yeah, if that resonates with you, be joining. The link is in our Instagram, which is the Better You Home, or in my Instagram, Nashada Cycle.
And the description of this video as well.
And in the description, this is why we have people that help you in life. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I forgot where I was initially, actually.
You were talking about going through things, and then obviously that will lead to growing through things as well.
He always does this. He always does these one-liners, and so does Rob. He's like, "There's riches in the niches." I said,
There is indeed.
You said there's enough cheeks for seats.
Oh, there's cheeks for every seat. I love that one because there really is cheeks for every seat.
Literally.
When we just start to, I can go in on. I was just speaking to my barber about this as well.
Go for it.
He was talking about because how much I pay for the barber right now. My barber right now, big up Bertrand House of Birch, is £25 when I started, and then it's £30.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'm starting to do these other things, going to be increasing the price, and I'm like, okay, I guess I got to make some more money.
Literally.
You see what I'm saying?
Like that mindset. Instead of saying I'm going to move on, I got to make some more money.
Exactly, and that's what I said last time. He said he was going to increase the price as well. But when he told me that, I said, bro, there's cheats for every seat, man. You're going to get people that leave, and you're going to get people that stay. 100%. For me, it's honest. It's the best thing when people can upgrade with you. So if he increases his price, I just need to level up what I'm doing, right? That's it.
And you're always going to have a seat with him then.
Exactly.
And that's why I love that as well. Like, it's, say when you're both obviously big time, other people, he's booked up, I can't get him, but a quick call, bro, I'm in need of a trim. He ain't going to forget, well, I hope he does not forget that, you know, you were with him through the come up, so.
Yes, indeed.
Okay, solid. Okay, so I actually want to ask a question. So obviously, I know you went from photography to, you went into digital marketing after photography, right?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, and then obviously we're going to get, I feel like this is going to be a 2-part thing.
Okay.
I feel like it is, right? Okay, and then obviously digital marketing into Reidentify, right?
Yes, indeed.
Was there a period through all of this where you didn't know what you were doing?
Oh, 100%.
So, okay, talk me through that time. Talk me through the emotions, everything.
The whole of that gap year, I was like, what am I doing?
Is it? Okay.
I was just out here just doing whatever. I was just purposeless. Basically.
Which is crazy because you know I got a podcast called what?
Purpose-led.
All right.
That's what's crazy. I was just out here just doing whatever, whenever. Someone would shout at me, Jonathan, you're trying to, Didn't
even let them finish. Mid-day.
You see what I'm saying? I was just chilling. And I was like, why am I here? Like, these people are just sitting down. I say these people, my people. You lot said it. Like, you see what I'm saying? My people were just sitting down, and we weren't actually actively doing anything. And there is time for that.
100%.
There is time for that, but we were doing it all the time. And I was like, okay, something has to change, innit?
Yeah.
Something has to change. So when I was there with them, I would bring my laptop and I would like start editing pictures and videos and all that kind of stuff. The stuff that I was doing outside, I would just bring it where I was chilling with them at. And then I just I started just shifting my focus a little bit. Started shifting my focus to, okay, what do I actually want to do? And I was just balancing the two things in my head the whole time, like uni, apprenticeship, uni, apprenticeship. Watching a lot of YouTube And even some of the people actually that I watched on YouTube, actually showing what life is like at Portsmouth, which is the uni I was going to go to.
I went to.
You see what I'm saying? Big up all you people who make content. It actually helps people. And big up Ruben as well, because Ruben is a guy that I watched on. He's got a brand as well, Polo Noir. I'm gonna get one of his stuff soon, one of his jumpers soon. Nice. Very, very nice brand. I think he was making content on YouTube, and I followed him on Snap. Okay. And then we started speaking on Snap because he does digital marketing. Okay. And then now, do you see what I'm saying? Okay. It's crazy, but that was from back then that I saw his stuff. Yeah. Sorry, everything just comes full circle, and I just
which it does, is great.
But yeah, in that time, I was just wondering, what am I gonna do? Looking at all this different content, saying, okay, do I want to go here? Do I want to go there? And I realized, let me just do the apprenticeship route. And I deferred the uni thing a year for that gap year. And I just said, you know what, just done it off. I'm gonna just go the apprenticeship route. And I was even looking at accommodation beforehand, so I was even ready to go as well, because I wanted to bounce from my yard.
Okay. If I'm reaching, let me know. I like digging deep. Why?
Talk to me. What, from my yard? Yeah. Because I just wanted to experience something different, to be honest, and I wanted freedom. Okay. But then, honestly, was freedom even good for me?
Probably not.
Do you see what I'm saying? I don't know if right now I would have children. Do you see what I'm saying? Because I know people.
No, can't be real. No, literally, yeah.
So I don't know.
Baby father.
I don't know what could have happened if I went to uni. Right. Obviously, probably wouldn't have been the end of the world if I did. Do you see what I'm saying?
Of course not. You may not even been here. We may have never met.
Exactly. You might not be doing a podcast. Who knows?
100%.
But I feel like everything happens for a reason.
100%.
I really do feel like everything happens for a reason. So that happened for a reason. I decided to do the apprenticeship route for a reason. And I started the apprenticeship. Okay. Apprenticeship was good.
Wait, I'm going to pause you.
Talk to me.
I want to dig deeper into how you felt like during that gap year.
How I felt or how I
felt? Yeah, okay. So obviously I know you said you were like purposeless and stuff, but how did it feel? Do you know what I mean? I think even especially as a man, I feel like purpose is very important to men as well. So yeah, talk me through that.
To be honest, I wasn't really processing my emotions at the time. I was just taking every day as it came. Okay. So it was just like, I've got work at this point. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to go work at this time. Yeah. And then I'm going to stop work at this time. And then it's just the cycle continues. The week turns to, or the days turn to weeks. The weeks turn to months. The months, exactly. Then it was a year. And I was like, damn. Where did I go? Yeah. But it was just like the constant cycle of just going to work, coming home, going to work, coming home. Yeah. And I also realized when I was at work, I learned a lot of things in that year. Okay. So even looking back, I learned a lot of things. So in that gap year, I learned that, so it was retail, right? So obviously Sainsbury's. I learned that a lot of these environments, they're like school playgrounds. Like these people would be gossiping about stuff that happened on the weekend, or like gossiping about this person doing something with this person, or this colleague and that colleague and whatever. And I'm like, you lot are grown people. Like, is this what it's like? You see what I'm saying? And then I learned how to speak to people, communicate with people. And before Sainsbury's, I was working in a place called Chinasto. Big up Chinasto. It's an Indian restaurant. Okay. Amazing people there. It's like a family there. And I learned how to actually communicate with people there, how to actually sell. I was on a bar as well. Thank you. I was on a bar as well, and I was making cocktails all day.
You can make cocktails?
You know what I mean?
Like that?
Small. And yeah, so when I was there, I learned a lot in terms of communicating with people, and I learned about value as well. So I actually added value to that place. Yes, I added a lot of value to that place in terms of like the kind of vibe that I bring, and then like the way that I make customers feel. And you know, when it comes to people, they will never remember what you say, but they always remember how you made them feel. So I realized that when I was there as well. There was people that would come back and say, "Oh yeah, you were the one who served me last time."
You don't even remember it, really.
What, that I served them?
Yeah.
Nah.
No, but obviously they would. Yeah.
Exactly. And then when I was leaving, this is when I realized the value. When I was leaving, they were saying, "Okay, how much are you getting paid? How much are you getting paid at Sainsbury's?" Because I already secured the job at Sainsbury's. Okay. And I said how much I was getting paid. They were like, "Can't do that much, but we can do this." You see what I'm saying? So that's where I saw the value was added in it, because I was like, okay, I must be adding value for them to say they're going to
100%. Because most time they'll be like, "Yeah, see, thank you." Exactly. There's a door.
And they wanted to keep me there, and they were really, really cool people. But I was like, sorry. Yeah. I was saying the money was cool. It was a lot of money. Oh, yeah. It wasn't a lot of money at all.
Looking back at it now, but then.
That's what I'm saying. But then.
No, because I remember my friends working at Sainsbury's back then. That was great money. In this day and age, listen, when I still bake. When I first started baking, my butter was a solid.
Your what?
Butter I used. Yeah, it wasn't even £2. Now it's almost £5
for
one tub of butter. Oh, wow. Like, it makes me not even want to bake cakes anymore because £5.
That's a lot. That's a lot for butter.
For one tub.
Yeah.
So when I tell people my price, they're like, right, actually, no, let me not even lie. People don't do that. You know why?
Why?
Because my cakes are good. Come on. So whenever I actually up the prices.
They are actually. I had that, that one. Yeah.
Yeah, the cake, right.
Nice.
So, yeah, I actually don't have that I used to, but now, because obviously I've had this business for 5 years. So it's like I'm known in the game. And celebrations. Thank you very much. So yeah, every time I up the price, I actually don't get any questions about it now because I know my cakes are good, but they didn't always used to be. I used to make really dry cakes.
Okay.
Which is crazy. He wants a dry cake. Do you know what I mean?
No one.
I actually remember the exact moment when I realized.
Cheats for every seat.
Yep. So what is wrong with my throat today? Right. So yeah, I remember it was a fortnight cake I made for my friend's brother actually.
Right.
Obviously I always ask for feedback when I make cakes. Because obviously how else are you gonna grow?
Of course. Do you find it easy to ask for feedback? Or do you find it hard?
No, I think I do it very frequently now. I used to find it difficult because I'm just scared what you're gonna say. Especially because my mom, she can't help herself. Like she'll tell you more about what's bad with it than what's actually good with it. So obviously it's just like I get this all the time. Like, I don't want somebody else to come and tell me what's wrong with it. But now I'm much better because I need to know. Do you know what I mean? Especially because I may not be able to see it, but somebody else probably can. So yeah, she let me know. She's like, yeah, but the cake was a bit dry. And I don't know what it did to me, but it was like a dagger in my heart. I was like, my cake's dry. I said, nah, my customers can't have dry cakes. I just remember researching ways to make my cakes better and even last longer because my cakes, they definitely last over a week and they're still very moist. I think that's pretty amazing. And now, yeah, I never will and never make dry cakes anymore.
There you go. You have to learn through pain sometimes.
But,
most of the time, actually, you have to learn through pain.
Don't even get me started on that.
It's life.
That's actually life. You have to. If you avoid it, you're just avoiding lessons that are necessary.
And avoiding an inevitable as well. It's always going to happen. You're always going to experience painful things.
Yeah. That thing you can't actually run away from. From Sainsbury's, you're talking about how you learn a lot. Did you finish on what you said you learned?
Yeah, just learning how to communicate with people, learning what different types of people are out there as well. I'm exposed to so many different types of people.
That's true.
Supermarket, innit?
Yeah.
I come across so many different types of people. How to handle people, how to handle different situations. Having to stick to a time schedule, coming in, going out, managers, authority.
Did that help you with being like disciplined and more organized then? Or have you always kind of been good?
Not really.
Okay. You know, with some people, like, having that schedule of, okay, I'm getting up at 8 and helps them manage their time a bit better.
Not really, because sometimes I do overtime and stuff like that. Okay. But it helped me in many different areas, though. Like, even with the managers that I had, like, some of them were cool, some of them weren't. And some of them I had to speak to. Yeah. Because, obviously, when it gets to a certain stage, you have to speak to people, you have to communicate with them that, like, what you're doing, like, come on, bro. Like,
find out everything at me.
Exactly. Yeah. And then I realised how to be, or what a good manager was and what a bad manager was. So that's helped me in what I'm doing now as well. Wow. Yeah.
Okay, so after Sainsbury's was what?
Digital marketing apprenticeship.
Okay, talk me through that.
So that was really good. It was good.
It was really good.
It was good. It was good. Like, really cool people. Really, really nice team. They actually stood for a purpose as well. So they give 90% of their distributable profits to charity.
90? That's 90. Very good.
That's their name, 90.
They're cool. I like them.
Yeah, they're really, really cool people, actually. And the reason I say it was good, not really good, is because I wouldn't say I was interested in the subject matter. Like, it's insurance innovation, right? So it's like
insurance innovation.
Yeah, so it's helping insurers to innovate.
Wow.
That's what they do. It's like, I wouldn't say I was that interested in insurance. I thought I might be able to get into it, but I was like, nah, this isn't.
Yeah, really. I didn't even ask, like, how do we even get to picking this?
Oh, it was just because it was a digital marketing apprenticeship. It was just at that company.
Okay, but then obviously, you know your life, so it makes sense. But for me, I'm just like, how do we go from photography to now picking a digital marketing? Because remember, apprentice?
I realised that photography probably wasn't for me.
Okay.
Let me go down the marketing route because I like human psychology. Right. I like how that works. And I've been building my page. I've been doing the social media stuff. And I understand how the marketing stuff works. You see what I'm saying? And marketing interested me as well.
Yeah.
I was thinking, okay, that is something that you can kind of apply to many different industries. So regardless of what I want to go into, I can utilize marketing.
Yeah. Okay.
So that's why I went into marketing kind of side of things.
Yeah. Okay, so still tell me about this apprenticeship.
Yeah, so there were really good people there. They actually taught me a lot as well in terms of just business, in terms of being punctual. I still need to work on.
You're pretty good.
I'm okay.
Yeah,
I'm all right.
You're all right, yeah. No, you're pretty good actually a drag. Yeah, you're all right. Because you were on time today. But anyway.
Okay. Yeah, I can't even give excuses for that. So, yeah, they taught me a lot as well. They taught me about life as well. Like I was closely working with the CEO.
Yeah.
Like, he was kind of in the office that we were in as well.
Okay.
So sometimes I would be on a meeting with him when he would be speaking to people from these big insurers, like I don't even want to say their names. I'm not sure if they're able to, but very big insurers that people have heard of, like people that insure their cars, kind of stuff.
Okay.
See what I'm saying? So these are names that people know, and he's on calls with the people who are very, very high up in those companies, telling them how to run their business and how to improve their thing. So I'm like, I was liking the business from that perspective.
Right.
And I also like the fact that they actually stood for something, and everything that they did kind of ran through that filter of purpose. Like, who are we working with? Why are we working with them?
Yeah.
And how is this going to help the people that we want to help?
That's solid.
I really did appreciate that.
That's good when building. Like, I think when some people are building something, it's just maybe for money's sake. So just like, you're just going to take anybody. Even with like this podcast, I'm not trying to bring somebody that I don't see, value in, that's really doing something substantial. That it's actually coming from a place of, like I actually want to do this and I want to help people.
Yeah.
Because I always say, I think it's true. It's true for me. A lot of what I do now is attached to who I am and like what I stand for as well, or like what I've kind of been through. So one reason why like I'm doing the Better You Home is because in my own life, I've realized that my parents didn't speak to me in a way that could cause this version of Nashada now to come out. I would say this version came as just a result of pain, as just going through a lot in life, which it happens, you know what I mean? Like, whatever cards you've been dealt with, deal with them. And so that's why, like, I can notice now that I know a lot of people come from those type of households where they haven't been affirmed, where they haven't been told, like, yeah, you actually can do this or do this. A lot of people actually are not living for themselves. And that's one thing I actually like about me. I'm quite stubborn. If I want to do something, can't lie, I'm going to do it. So even, I went to uni, but I left 3 months in, actually.
Right.
Yes, I was studying international business management.
Okay.
It wasn't bad, but I didn't like it. And one thing about me, if I don't like something,
not doing it.
Nah. I've always been that way.
Yeah.
So I thought, cool, let me change the course. I was going to do entrepreneurship, just so boring.
As they have that?
Yeah, it was along those lines, yeah.
Okay.
Because obviously I started my business at 16. So at this time, going to uni, I still had the business. I just put it on hold. Well, I didn't actually. I decided to be smart and I charged my roommates to make food for them every week. And then I started to spread the word. I'd done like packages. Started making milkshakes and stuff. And, guys in uni, they're going to pay anybody to make their food. So capitalized on that. So yeah, I always knew I was going to go into business after leaving uni. So it just made sense to do some degree that was like business, right?
Yeah.
But they were like, oh, sorry, you've missed the threshold, the mark. You're going to have to wait a year to change your course. So I said, do I look like I'm going to stay in this place for a year doing a subject that I don't really like? I said, no. So I left. And that was mad because, everybody's in uni.
Yeah.
Like, life...
Well, it feels like that.
The majority of people are in uni, right? So which I'm grateful for now, experienced life early enough. I had about 3 years, 18, 19, about 3-4 years to try everything. So I was a youth worker for 3 years. I was a chef for a couple of months. What else did I do? I tried to be a lash tech. I tried to go into facials. I just tried everything because, I like to live my life on knowing that I tried it rather than what if. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, like it was really difficult at that time. I don't know how we got here, but let's run with it. It was really difficult at that time because, all my friends are in uni and I'm actually having to think about life. Obviously, I'm at home now and Mum's like, okay, what are you doing?
What are you doing, yeah?
But at this time, I was going through my first heartbreak as well.
Oh, no.
My heart was breaking. I love this voice so much. Like, you know what I mean? This is like, you're young, do you know what I mean? So I was heartbroken and jobless.
That's a bad combo.
That's a bad combo.
That's a big bad combo.
I actually, like, to keep it real, spent months crying.
Oh,
on
end?
Yeah, I love this guy, It wasn't actually love. Now look back at it now. It's just infatuation, and obviously I had no self-esteem, so you're just filling the void. But anyway, we won't go into that. So yeah, heartbroken, jobless, not really good. But I'm actually glad that I went through that at 18 because I know there's a lot of people that leave uni now, and it's like, what am I doing?
Feel lost.
So many people I've encountered say they feel lost. So that's why I said life's happening for you, not to you. So yeah, I had a couple
of those people in Sainsbury's. I met a lot of those people.
Is it just they don't know what they're doing? I'm not gonna sound rude, but you were one of them, innit? You
100%, yeah. But then everyone was just at different stages and not knowing what they're doing. There's 30, 25.
But that's the problem. It's like you need to. I've realized you've got to get to a stage where you hate where you are to move, if that makes sense. Like I got sick and tired of crying every day, so I had to get up and do something. So when I was a youth worker, it was great. I was still heartbroken at the job. Because everybody like, oh, miss, do you have a boyfriend? I'm like, no, I don't have a boyfriend. Like, stop reminding me. I don't have one. So it's really hard. But yeah, I was exposed to life, which I absolutely love.
Another thing to take from that as well, you only make change when you're actually tired. You only make change when you're tired. Like, if you're not making change yet, you're not tired enough.
You're not tired. Somebody used to say that, my mentor used to say that to me, and I just looked at him like...
It's real life.
I looked at him and said, I am tired, which was correct, but you're not tired enough.
The only reason I started going to the gym because I was tired of being skinny. I would say I'm slim now.
Yeah,
I was tired of being skinny.
So you're a marga?
I was definitely.
You're a marga.
100%. It was concerning. You see what I'm saying? That's not funny. Why are you laughing?
Because I can just imagine it. Like, if we were friends, and I'll show you.
I'll show you a picture.
You're gonna show you. I'm gonna laugh.
Because I was marga basically. Yeah. And I was like, okay, I'm tired of being this way. Let me start eating. Let me start going to the gym. And in about, I think 3 to 4 months, I put on like 10 kilos.
I don't really know. Wait, why is my eyelash doing this?
10 kilograms.
Is that really good?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I was 73 kilograms before. Yeah. Then I went to 83 kilograms.
Okay, so you just like eating a lot.
Yeah, or like 70 kilograms, and I went to 80 kilograms. So I was just eating a lot. And matter of fact, just eating. Because I thought I was eating a lot beforehand. But I was just snacking. I was just snacking and then just having little bits here and there. But when I was actually conscious with it, that was just in lockdown, innit? Which is a whole nother period of my life.
Yeah, tell me through that.
Oh, lockdown.
Yeah. So what were you doing?
That's good actually, because it comes straight after the apprenticeship.
Nice.
Or matter of fact, in the apprenticeship.
Look at us getting back on track, just so effortlessly.
Podcasters. I'm saying.
Okay.
Doing this way. What are we doing?
Shh. No, do that one.
What this one?
Anyway, go ahead.
Yes. So when I was doing the apprenticeship,
I
was in the office, which was in not Marble Arch. It was in Monument. That was for maybe like a month or two. Okay. And then everything just got locked down.
Yeah, locked off.
And then I did it all virtually. And of course, I couldn't do any photography, any of that kind of stuff as well. So that kind of actually naturally kind of ended things there as well. So obviously I was thinking, having my thoughts beforehand, and then I couldn't do it anyway.
Yeah, so I was like, okay. Might as well now.
Exactly. Yeah. And then in that time, I started a Purpose Led with Rob.
Oh, in lockdown?
Yeah, because remember, in lockdown, when lockdown started, everybody started to go on Clubhouse.
Yeah, I never joined in, Wow.
I did.
Yeah, that's so weird.
Saying? So did Rob, and so did many other people. We got on Clubhouse and we heard people talking about who should be on the first date. Are you going to sleep with this woman, that woman? What's your body count? This, that, the other. Do you like black women? No. And then me and Rob are like, okay, cool. These conversations, some of them you might be able to have once. You should be on the first date.
Yeah.
The man.
Yeah.
Let's move on.
Literally.
You should do this, that person. Cool. Let's move on. But then these people are having conversations till like 3 a.m., 4 a.m. No. But that's not, obviously, for some people, that's their form of entertainment, isn't it?
Yeah, which is fine. It should only be entertainment.
Exactly. For me, I was like, yeah, I'm alright. I mean, I was in the rooms for maybe one day or something like that, and I was like, okay, cool, that's enough for me.
Yeah.
And then I started getting into personal development and such because I started listening to Clubhouse rooms, which had a lot of this stuff in it.
Yeah.
And I was in Clubhouse rooms. I was sitting there, and I was listening to people like Grant Cardone. I was listening to people like big business people.
Yeah.
I'm talking 7-figure, 8-figure, these kind of people. They were on Clubhouse and they were just talking wisdom for free, and you can get on stage and you can speak to them for free. And then there were people talking about all this stuff that I didn't care about. And I was like, see what I'm saying? I'm like, what's going on here? Like, are people not seeing these other rooms that are open? And I was like, okay, well, I've started to listen to them, and I've started to get this whole personal development thing. And Rob's on it as well. We'd have calls, we'd be talking to each other. And Rob, big up Coach Klutze. We'd be talking to each other. We'd be saying, oh yeah, bro, oh yeah, this, that, the other. I read this, Atomic Habits, mindset.
So you need to read that book, guys.
Big book, read it.
Solid, yeah.
It's not even a big book.
It's not yet.
It's actually a good book, like it's a good size too.
Yeah,
if you're not a reader, read it. If you are a reader, read it. For real. Yeah. So me and Rob, we were interested in the same stuff. We were like, let's just do this on Clubhouse. Yeah. We don't see it there by people who look like us.
Okay, so you saw an opportunity.
And we took it. Yeah. And after we took it, people started listening. Maybe like 10 people in the room. Yeah. They were really, really loving it. And as you said on your journey as well, people were saying, "Oh, these cakes are really good, Nashada." Yeah. Same with the rooms, even though there was only 10 people, or 2 people saying it. These rooms are really, really good.
10 people. Cool. Then how many people you took?
Exactly. And then we just kind of built it up. And it was probably only max like 30 people. Maybe a room there was like 70 people in the room at one time, and that was maybe one day.
That's still really good.
But we built a community up to about 500 people. Wow. And then people started saying, "Oh yeah, this is really good. You lot should create a podcast." It was actually Harina. Big up Harina.
There
you go. She said for us to create a podcast. We were like, all right, cool.
Why not?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Why not? So that was kind of like the natural progression. Then big up JJ.
Big you up, JJ.
I was literally just speaking to him earlier on as well.
Nice.
And he was involved in this like kind of community called this is so bad of me because I really forgot.
Remember, I'll put it on the screen somewhere.
Please do.
Yeah.
Please do. They're really, really, really good people as well. But because they've been out of action for a little while.
So what do they do?
They basically help young people get into the creative world and creative industry.
Okay.
Can't believe
what's like creative, like so like photography and like
art, music, all that kind of stuff. And they had this kind of room in one of the big buildings in Central near Waterloo. And JJ was there, and I think he was doing some music stuff with them. And then he said, "Bro, you know they got a podcast studio." And he literally just shot it like on a snap, and he sent me the video. And he said, "Bro, like they got the studio here. Like I don't know. I could introduce you to these people." He introduced us to the people.
Big up Chris,
because Chris was helping us.
Chris.
And that's another thing as well. You need to tell people what you're doing.
Oh yeah.
Because people are so scared to tell people what they're doing. Because people are like, "Oh no, I don't want to tell. I want to move in silence. I don't want to say anything. I want to move in silence. I don't want to say anything to people."
Yeah, literally.
Because that's what people are on. But then I really do think there's so much value in actually telling people what you do.
Yeah.
And actually,
I can see that in our relationship, right? Because if I didn't tell you that I'm starting a podcast, one, you wouldn't be here, and two, you wouldn't be helping me start my podcast right now. But I know that I think that comes from culture, just from my experience. Like growing up, mum's like, you don't tell anybody anything. Like everything stays in the house. But I think that's heavily linked to like a scarcity mindset of like, okay, maybe if I share this idea, I know that I can't do this idea, or somebody's going to take it, which they can take it, but they can't take you. Do you understand? So somebody can take the Generations podcast name, but ain't nobody going to do the podcast how I do the podcast because I'm me. Simple. But yeah, there's so much value in sharing it because everybody, not everybody has some value that they can see, whether good or bad is obviously a whole nother story. But anyway, land your point.
But yeah, so you can learn something from everyone as well. So literally everybody does have some sort of value to give you. So even in Sainsbury's, like there were people that I was learning from, but not in the way of they would
not to do as well,
this, that, and the other to end up in the position that they were potentially at. You see what I'm saying? And then people were telling me what to do, as in get out of here. I was like, that's probably a good idea.
And I'm assuming these were older people as well,
yes,
isn't it?
older people.
Obviously,
as well.
they're just not happy, but again, not sick enough.
No, but some people were actually calm being there. Like it's like they were just doing it to have something to do.
Did you really think they were happy?
I don't know if they were happy, but they were just doing it to have something to do, innit?
Fair enough. Yeah, because I genuinely believe like God made us in a way where we have to create. Like I think deep down, if you're not doing something, but creating something, as in being like innovative. That's the word, isn't it? Obviously, there's different levels to it. Because I wouldn't say like I'm heavily creative.
No, but you are creative.
I was actually thinking about this the other day. I wouldn't class myself as creative.
If we're made by a creator, and he made us in his image, then we must be creative.
Can't
and you've made what? A podcast. You made a Telegram. You've created, matter of fact, a Telegram. You created a podcast. You create cakes on a regular basis. You create food on a regular basis. You design the cakes to make them look nice.
That's also true.
Which is a form of creation. You also design the food to make it look nice and presentable.
It always looks cute, innit? It always looks good.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you're a creative, no?
You know what? I would love to argue with that. But I can't. No.
You know what I mean?
I can't argue with it. Okay, so your friend Jade.
Oh, also, please, sorry, before we get into that, just tell your people what they do as well. You love to say give people their roses, or their flowers.
Yeah, I say give people their flowers while they're alive, not dead.
Exactly. And men don't even get flowers until they're dead. Which is a shame. And they get laid on their grave.
Oh, I'm actually going to buy flowers.
Don't do that.
Oh. William, would you like flowers?
What's it?
Listen, if I came up and gave you a rose, how would you guys feel? Would you look at me?
I'll just say thank you.
Would you take it?
Yeah, word.
Or would you take it? Would you take it?
Yeah, I'll take it.
Would you take it?
Yeah, word.
Oh, I'm gonna think about doing that. Anyway, what you asked me to do?
I thought I was telling them people.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, always tell your people like what they do well. Like I just affirmed you. I just told you exactly what you do, and that the fact that you are a creative has reminded you. Matter of fact. Right. Because these things will be in your head, but you won't actually tell your people them.
True.
Which is a shame.
Yeah.
Because these things will be in your head, as I said, but you won't tell the people, so they will never know. But they might not know. Sometimes you see people the way that they don't even see themselves. Oh, you see people's potential when they don't even see it. Yeah, and it's a shame because you actually believe in some people more than they believe in themselves. So the more that you tell people who they actually are and who you see them as, 100%. In a positive light.
Of course, yes, please. Positivity.
The more you tell them, the more they will actually start to believe it. Because repetition, I keep telling you, repetition is literally the thing that will make you understand something. And it's like music, for example. It's just programming. It's like music. Music is a form of programming. Like, if you're always talking about money, women, drugs, and all this other stuff,
that's
what do you really think that you're going to be thinking about?
Like that David Immunity said, garbage in, garbage out.
David Immunity, yeah. Garbage in, garbage
out.
What
you take in. That is so true, and it's why like I've called the Better You home.
Yeah.
As well, because the home is that's where primary socialization happens, right? That's where the like key socialization happens. And I had a therapy call yesterday, and my therapist was like, actually, from conception, right, till 10 are the foundational years. Conception, like not, as in I'm not even here yet, and it's why people encourage like mothers and fathers to speak to their children and affirm them even before they're here,
100%.
because that kind of 100% impacts how they view themselves and see themselves. And yeah, if you don't, and that's why like with my girls, I'm always telling them like, I'm so proud of you, like you're doing an amazing job, especially to the ones that are not doing anything, because unfortunately this culture, if you're not doing anything, you're not valuable, you're not good. These are obviously lies 100%, because something I've written for like my affirmations is I am enough, I've always been enough, and I'll always be enough. And this is aside from having this podcast, aside from having businesses, aside of anything. Just me, Nashada, when I wake up, I am enough, right? So, yeah, I don't know why I keep coming back to affirming, but it is so important. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, JJ, he sent you a snap of the studio.
Yeah, he sent me a snap of the studio, and he said, bro, like, you see this stuff, bro, you could use this. Like, you said you wanted to start a podcast now, which I said you need to tell your people what you're trying to do, or tell people in general, what you're trying to do. And that's a whole other thing to speak about as well. But yeah, he said, oh, look, bro, yeah, we got this here. Just give me a shout if you want me to set it up. He did set it up. I linked up with Chris. Big up Chris. YCUK.
Oh, you just remembered it, innit?
YCUK. Young Creators UK. Big up them, man, for real.
Why is he shouting us? Just in case
so sorry, I didn't even mean to shout. But yeah, YCUK.
Yeah.
Big group. Not big physically, but actual big, serious, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Great people involved, really, really creative people involved. Came through, Chris liked me, people them like me. So they said, okay, cool, bring Rob. Rob came through, people that like Rob. If you like me, you're gonna like Rob. You see what I'm saying? If you like Rob, you're gonna like me.
Yeah.
Standard. So yeah, we came through, they liked us, so we were able to use the space. So if you go back to season 1, Purpose Led YouTube channel, you'll be able to see like the London Eye in the back and all that kind of stuff. That was in that studio. So yeah, that's where we kind of started, and then that was at the same time. It was a nice place to start. And that was at the same time that we were doing the I was doing the apprenticeship.
How long was you doing the apprenticeship for?
I want to say like 18 months.
Oh wow,
18 months, I believe. Yeah.
Okay, so let's run it over. We go from I don't remember the shop.
Shanaste.
That's what I said. Shanaste. From Shanaste to Sainsbury's. Sainsbury's and photography.
Yeah.
Then Sainsbury's and photography to 90, which was the digital
and photography.
Oh, so you a little bit here and there.
Yeah, at the very
start. Yeah, until the Arranged Madness shoot.
Oh no.
No, till lockdown.
Till lockdown, yes.
Right. Okay, and then so obviously, yeah. By this time, lockdown's over, of course, because you're in the studio, innit? By this time,
so it was lockdown was over, but Corona was still you see what I'm saying? Corona was still a thing. So it was still difficult to, get out and shoot and all that kind of stuff. And then Rob was at uni as well, which made it difficult to. I think he was at uni anyway. Can't completely remember. Yeah. But yeah, it wasn't easy to be able to, go out and shoot and all that kind of stuff, because everyone shook. Everyone shook at the whole Corona thing. You see what I'm saying?
Oh, my mum was scared, boy.
You see what I'm saying? And of course, because people are dying.
Yes.
People were dying. So and people who were close to my parents as well, who were dying. So it was difficult for me to even, you know what I'm saying? Because they want to just keep everyone inside.
Exactly.
So that no one gets affected by this.
Yeah, you got quite a few people in your house as well.
See what I'm saying?
Okay. So, now walk me through. Now this is Purpose Led has started now. So yeah, his podcast is called Purpose Led. Actually, matter of fact, tell us about Purpose Led.
Purpose Led is a podcast, and it's not just a podcast, to be honest. It's a movement.
They're really cool.
You know what I mean? We have a podcast. We do events as well. We talk about like mindset, personal development, all that kind of stuff. So probably your viewers might even like the stuff that we do.
Yeah, they should do.
There you go. And we bring different people on, like financial professionals, authors, athletes, like different kind of people who are fulfilling a life of purpose and following a life of purpose and following their purpose.
Yeah.
And people who are purpose led. Right. Those are the kind of people that we bring on. People that are going to inspire our audience, telling our audience about the things that they've learned in life. Yeah. Those are the kind of people we bring on.
Okay. What's your definition of purpose? Like, when you think purpose, what do you think?
Your God-given reason to be here.
Okay. And what do you think yours is?
To inspire people.
How?
Well, through your calling. So one of my callings, I believe, is the podcast. Because that's one of the ways I can do it very, very high leverage. I can do it to a variety of people, thousands of people. We touch millions of people through social media. Thank you. And we touch thousands of people through YouTube and the Spotify and what's it called, Apple Music and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, it's just a very high leverage way of just causing inspiration across so many different people. And then of course we do the events as well.
Yeah.
So we can actually do it in real life too.
Yeah.
Like we're going to be doing workshops too. So we're doing that in real life too.
Yeah.
And then through Purpose Led, there are so many different ways we can inspire because we're going to be going into school. We've been into a school. We've already spoke to one.
Amazing.
And we're going to be going to speak at a university soon as well. So just more of the same really, and just inspiring that way.
Inspiring. I mean, Nipsey Hussle did say one of the greatest human acts is to inspire, isn't it? Which is so true. That's what some people need because a lot of people's environments are just so not. Is uninspiring a word? Is that English?
We'll make it a word right now.
We're going to make it a word.
There you go.
It's so uninspiring, but that's why, and even Atomic Habits talks about it, you've got to create your environment. So that's what I did the other day. I looked at my room, I said, I spend most of my time in here. So that means that this environment needs to like help produce the woman that I'm desiring to be.
100%.
So one way that I've done that is on my mirror now, on my wardrobe, I've got like the mirror wardrobe. So obviously one side is for me to look in like, you look good, yes, girl, do your thing, And the other one, I filled it with affirmations.
Right. You drew on it?
Yeah, right. So
okay.
It's so cool. I used to see these American ladies doing their TikToks, and I said, a mirror is a mirror. So if she can do it in America, I can do it in England.
100%.
So walked to Poundland.
Yeah.
Got a pack of markers.
Yeah.
Went home, started writing.
Amazing. One
of the first things is about Jesus, obviously, because I have to make sure that that's the center of everything that I do. But one of the second thing is, I put, I am changing women's lives all over the world, which in actual fact is actually true because I've got Americans and South Africans in my Telegram group chat and obviously British people as well. So I actually am doing that, and it's been amazing because like girls have actually been messaging me like, I sent a message to the group good 2 weeks ago. I said, be delusional with your goals, as in like think about how like far you can go with them. That so right now it may look absolutely mad, but just be delusional. Do you know what I mean? And a girl messaged the group. She's like, Nashada told us to make some delusional goals, and I actually did that. And another thing actually, which I'll say, is don't compare your delusion because I'll obviously expand on that. To her, one of the delusional goals was posting on TikTok.
Right.
That's because she's obviously probably shy, introverted. That's not a big thing for me because I'm quite extroverted and I'm out there. So yeah, I can look at it and be like, it's not really delusional. But for her, it's extremely delusional. So that's why you just shouldn't compare in general. I spoke about that on my page yesterday. I like to say comparison is the thief of joy, but also time. The time you're spending comparing is the time you just really should be using building yourself up, learning this, learning that. And it's why I actually recently had to shut off my social media a little bit, just calm down on it because I wanted to create more than I consumed. Yes. And I wanted to build better you in the way that God wants to build it. And it's just coming from Nashada. Do you know what I mean? Like, yes, you take inspiration. Yes, there's a way of doing things, but this is my brand. Yeah. So it should reflect Nashada and nobody else.
100%.
I always detour like this, but I don't know my actual point.
Perfect. I'm sure the people will loving it.
Of course, I'm sure. It will be. Do you know what I mean?
And I wanted to say something about comparison. Comparison, the way I see it, is like, let's say, for example, you're running a race, right? And everyone's in their different lanes, which is just a metaphor for life. Yeah. Everyone is actually in their different lanes, but people tend not to focus on their own lane. Yeah. So when you don't focus on your own lane and you're running like this, and you're looking at the person next to you, how they're swinging their arms, how they're moving their feet, the shoes that they're wearing, the clothes that they're wearing, what color the clothes are, and why are they so aerodynamic. You don't see the little thing that's in front of you that's going to trip you up because you're so busy comparing yourself to the next person, which means that you have to start from like on the back foot. And these people are already like 10 further steps ahead when you actually get going again. And that's what actually trips you up when literally trips you up when you're comparing yourself to people. So I feel like people compare themselves so much, and it's because of what they see on a regular basis. And people only see the highlights of what other people want to show them.
I rolled my eyes because I hate that about social media.
People only see the highlights, and I'm a very big believer of you turn into what you tune into, because anything that you see, that is what you will become. As you said, garbage in, garbage out. David Amaniti said the same thing. Yeah. If you're taking in this rubbish stuff, what do you really think is going to come out your mouth?
Rubbish.
Thank you. Simple. Thank you. The only stuff that I really take in now is just like personal development and business stuff, and like I want to listen to things that are going to build me up. 100%. And then the only stuff that comes out of my mouth is going to be that stuff, because what else can come out of my mouth?
Nothing else, because that's what you're filling yourself with.
You see what I'm saying? I don't fill my head with rubbish, so nothing that comes out of my mouth is rubbish.
That's a lot about what life's about as well, is serving and helping. I mean, Jesus not do that when he came in?
100%.
He didn't he had all of these things inside of him, but he didn't come and just sit in a corner. He came, shared words, was doing healing. He shared. So we don't consume this just for ourselves, but for the sake of other people. It's actually selfish to keep it to yourself.
100%.
That's actually selfish. So if any of you have, skills, gifts, stop keeping it to yourself. You know what I mean? Share it, love. But I don't actually want to go too much down the purpose-led podcast lane because I want to do a episode with purpose-led.
Oh yeah, 100%.
I want to go down Reidentify.
Okay.
Which is Jonathan's business.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. How did we go from? We're gonna start again. I've already forgotten the name, so just remind me again.
So Chanaster.
Chanaster.
Sainsbury's.
Yeah.
After Sainsbury's, we went to United, which is digital marketing apprenticeship, and then my contract ended with them.
Right.
So it could have been a thing where they kept me on, or I could have gone and looked for another job.
Okay.
So I had a feeling they were gonna say, "Hey, listen, bro."
Not the rubbing of the knees.
You see what I'm saying? Listen, I'm sorry, innit, but we don't need you anymore.
Yeah.
And that's essentially what happened. I'm sorry, innit, but we don't need you anymore.
Yeah.
They didn't say that. My manager was actually pretty cool as well.
That's nice.
But they were like, any help that you need to, get another job, then we'll help you, all that kind of stuff. And I was like, oh, it's cool. Actually, matter of fact, I actually took one of them up on it.
Okay. Did they follow through?
Oh no, the people that I was actually connected with, they were actually following through, and I contacted them, and then they contacted me back, and I was like, do I even want to do this? Because from when I was young, I've been wanting to work for myself.
Yeah,
and
I think
all the point have that. Exactly. Obviously,
like
sold sweets in school, that kind of stuff.
Did you do that?
Yeah.
I did.
Is it?
Secondary.
What kind of sweets?
Every type of sweet I sold.
Say secondary, as if people selling sweets in primary.
You'd actually be surprised.
I would.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Don't you can't put it past anything. Do you know what I mean?
Fair enough.
Yeah, secondary I sold Twix, just any type of sweets really. Then in college I sold food packages.
Okay, right.
Just any whatever I made at the time, wings, anything really.
Hard. So you just been on the food thing.
Been on it, and then I sold cupcakes.
Okay.
Then I started doing this was my most popular. I started doing rainbow cake.
Okay.
Which is vanilla cake, just every layer is a different color.
Yeah.
So obviously people want it because it just looks good, really. So I made a big cake. Obviously that doesn't cost much really to make the big cake, and I just cut it in slices. So obviously I make more money that way. And literally I had have people outside my classroom door you got cake.
Oh, what? Wow.
My cake was good. Even teachers. Actually sold it to a teacher that later on actually became a customer as well.
Wow.
So yeah, I've been on this, man. It's always actually irked me to work for people.
Yeah.
And you know what happened the other day? I was listening to a podcast. I think it was a Social Proof podcast. Big you up because you did put me on that.
Come on.
And I think it was that, and he was like, yeah,
David.
Your hard work probably is paying for your manager's child's tuition fee or something like that. I just said, I don't like the sound of that. My hard work is paying for his kid's tuition fee, at a private school, sorry. And from that moment, I said, yeah, nah, let's go into this thing full time, which I am now.
But I feel like you need to understand how it is to work for people, to understand how to actually run a business, innit?
Right, and I do know now what not to do as a manager.
Exactly, which also really
and what
does
to
help.
do.
But where was I?
I'm a good listener, so just give me two.
Are you really?
Give me 2 seconds.
Yeah.
You were talking about. Yes, you left, and they said they don't need you anymore.
Okay, yeah, they said that was a test. They said
it was a test.
No, I actually completely
I
forgot.
passed there.
You did pass.
Thank you.
I failed. So they said basically we don't need you anymore.
Yeah.
So you can kind of do what you need to do and then just do what you need to do. I was like, all right, cool. Let me see what I can do. And I was like, at that period of time actually, because I had already sensed it that this was probably going to happen. I was like, all right, let me see what other options are out there. Yeah. And I was looking at other jobs. I was like, to get my CV sorted again.
What type of jobs?
Marketing jobs.
Okay.
I was thinking, should I become a marketing executive, all that kind of stuff, and I was like, this is long. Don't want to get my CV sorted.
I hate
LinkedIn job alerts. Hey, LinkedIn job alerts. They were still contacting me a year after that.
Unsubscribe, I think.
And I had to unsubscribe, of course.
Yeah.
But I set all of that up, all the different job alerts as well, different places I wanted to work. Yeah. And I realized I was like, do I really even want to do this? And I like cars, right?
Okay. Yes, I know.
I like cars. And there must have been a video I was watching about this guy who was doing car reselling. Okay. I think he was doing car reselling. And that was something I was thinking, okay, should I get into this instead and then do that? So I was just thinking of all these different hustles that I could do, right, to turn into a business. And then I must have seen this one video about this one young boy who had I think it was like a BMW 4 Series or something like that. I don't know. But it was a decent car, right? It was like a newer kind of plate. I was like, okay, cool, he's got that. And he was picking up like a CLA.
Mercedes.
What?
No, I want a high five.
High five.
Don't slap me.
Do it properly. There you go. He was picking up a CLA. And then he was keeping a BM as well, I think. I was like, okay. Right, so you know what I'm saying? What's he doing? What's he doing? And then he said he must have been running an SMMA. And I was like, what's an SMMA? Okay. And then I was like, okay. And then he said a social media marketing agency. I was like, okay, social media marketing agency.
Paying him good.
Huh?
Paying him good, clearly.
What? Oh, paid him good? Yeah, clearly.
Clearly.
I was like, okay, cool. SMMA. Probably money involved.
Yeah.
Don't know. Right, cool. Went on to another video, I think a couple of days later, or maybe even the next day, even the same day. Yeah. One of the days, you know what I mean? I must have went on to another video now, and it was this other guy talking about his Jaguar I-Pace, which is like an electric 4x4 Jaguar, right? One of the new ones that come out. It was like a nice colorway and all that kind of stuff. And then he drove it to his yard, which had like a Porsche 911, which is like the fast one. Okay. There you go. A Porsche 911 in it, yeah. And it was like the same colorway, and it was in a yard, which was the same colorway as everything. I'm like...
Now you're probably looking.
I was saying, like, where do you get this money from? And then he said at the end, the way I did this was SMMA. I was like, okay. Okay, cool. Okay. Let me see. Yeah. So I started looking at his stuff because his other content was SMMA related. Okay. And then I ended up buying his course. And then this kind of like...
When you pay, you what?
When you pay attention. Because beforehand, did I even buy a course? No, I was just taking in different bits of information about SMMA, and then eventually I came back to the original guy that I saw, right? Or the second guy that I saw talking about SMMA. So I went around all these different places, looked at these YouTube free courses and all that kind of stuff, and I was like, you know what? Let me just buy a course which will take me from A to at least C.
Right.
Don't you have
That's
to
why the best form of investment is in who?
In yourself.
Right.
On highest ROI investment you'll ever do.
Which is?
Yourself.
No, what's ROI?
Oh, sorry.
Some people don't know.
Return on investment. The highest return on investment decision you'll ever make is investing into yourself. I've invested into many. Big up yourself, William, for putting that there. I've invested into many things. I've invested into stocks. I've invested into crypto, trading. I've invested into other people. Yeah. But the best investment has been in myself. Full stop.
There's nothing more to say after that.
Nothing more. Highest ROI in this world, I'm telling you now. Because it's exponential. If you really think about it, it's actually exponential. You putting in, let's say, for example, it's 5,000 for a coach. Yeah. For you to teach you how to, I don't know, even speak better and how to communicate better. I'm not saying you're not better. You're not good at communicating.
No, I need to though.
You know, you're good at communicating, right? You're welcome. So let's say, for example, you pay this $5 for the coach. Yeah. Pay $5 for this coach now. Let's say, for example, you start getting speaking engagements. And then speaking engagements go from 500 to 1,000, 2,500, 7,000, 14 grand, 18 grand, 20 grand. Yep. And that £5,000 investment has turned into what? 6 figures, potentially 7 figures if you're doing international speaking, all this kind of stuff. Because you're investing into yourself. A lot of people make the mistake of investing into these things that they can't control. Let me know if you say it's a mistake. Yeah. Because obviously there is a place for that.
Yeah, there's a time.
But that's your investment portfolio, what you're investing into. Make sure that there's a percentage for yourself.
Oh, I like that.
You like that? Clip me. Yeah. There we go. That's how we show appreciation.
That's solid. Yeah, like say if you were to look back at like your life, right? As your investment portfolio. Really down this column, it should be you more so than anything else. Wow. That's solid.
100%.
I really like that.
Thank you.
Well done. I feel like this first part was just is your journey more or less.
Yeah, basically.
It was your
journey up until the business. But then when the business, what?
That's the
title. Was that good?
Journey up. You still effort.
All right.
It was journey up. Write that down.
Write that down.
Journey up into the business. Okay, where did we land?
We landed on the cars and then the course. So I got the course. 700 was the most I spent on my own personal education at that time. So that's how much I paid for the course. Yeah. And then after I got the course now, I started going in. Started watching every single thing. I started saying, okay, cool, so I need to start business by doing this. Okay, I do this, I do that, I do this, I do that. I was kind of following that course and what that course said SMMA was. Yeah. Which essentially it was basically social media marketing agency. You're just helping people to market through social media. Yeah. That's it. And that's essentially what I was doing. Or that's what I saw how to do. And then from there, it was telling me all these different ways of reaching out to these people, like cold calling and all that kind of stuff. And I was like, I'm not trying to cold call people. I'm not trying to go there in person. This is all long. how is there another way to do this? And I started looking on YouTube. So it was so that course. I thanked that course because it actually. I don't even think I utilized like 80% of the information in there.
Really?
But then I got what I needed. I got that start. I had skin in the game. I invested money into it because when you pay attention. Exactly. So I invested money into it. So I was actually attentive towards this thing, and I was giving my energy towards it. I was giving my time and my money towards it. So I'm going to be paying attention to it. You see it? So I was taking the course in, and I started doing my extra research around it because when it comes to courses, you can take courses in, but you need to put your own spin. When it comes to business, you need to put your own spin on anything that you do. It doesn't matter what it is, you have to put your own spin on it. Otherwise, it won't work. Or it might work, but it just might not be authentic. It probably won't be authentic.
Yeah, because it's not.
Exactly. You see what I'm saying? So I realized I had to put my own spin on it, and I had to see, okay, what's the way that I want to do this? And I found a different way to do it to actually reach warm clients instead of cold clients.
And what's the difference?
So let's say for example, cold outreach, right, or a cold lead, probably the best way of saying it, is a person who doesn't know who you are or what you do and never spoke to them in your life. A warm lead is somebody who potentially even knows who you are or knows that they need a service and really needs the service. Maybe doesn't know who you are, but there's someone who's kind of primed for you to come into the picture. And a hot lead is someone who knows who you are, and they just need you to say a word and they're across the line. So I wanted to go for the warm leads because there was no potential of there being a hot lead because no one knows who I am right now. I don't even know who I am right now. I don't even know what I'm doing. So I was going for the warm leads. I started doing that. I learned how to do that kind of outreach through YouTube. And then after YouTube, then I started doing this outreach, started building up the agency from there. And then here we are. Well, not here we are. There's a lot more that
There's a lot more, which makes sense for us to continue in next week, innit? So if you guys want to hear how Jonathan went from, what's that place called?
Chinasto.
Big up Chinasto. To now running what do you run now?
Personal branding and podcast agency.
That's doing very well, may I add. He's got
and a community.
Called
the Round Table. Should be in the description below.
Okay, yeah, it will be in the description below.
Yes, indeed.
Tell us a little bit about that.
The Round Table is basically a space. Yeah, I just came as action just like that. It's a space for entrepreneurs and self-starters, go-getters. You're inside of it as well.
I am.
How have you found it?
I've actually found it really good. Like, it makes me think ahead in terms of like business-wise. It's like equipping me already for the business owner that I aspire to come.
Amazing. I mean, that's why I do it, because I want people who were in a position or are in a position that I was in, or people who are at a similar position to me, or people who are ahead of me.
Yeah.
I say like that because who's really ahead of you, because everyone's journey is different. Ooh. That's another conversation for another time.
That's another gem.
Thank you. Anyone who's any stage in their journey can take value from what I'm saying. I've spoken to people who are 7-figure business owners. I've spoken to people who are 0-figure business owners. Yeah. And everybody, both sides of the spectrum, they can receive value from what I'm saying, and I can receive value from them.
Right.
From the person who's at the 7-figure spot, he could tell me how to run a business. He can tell me how to do this, that, and the other, and how he scaled to this level.
Yeah.
And I can tell that guy, or I did actually tell that guy, how I run my business and how I actually introduce structures into my business.
Solid.
And what I actually do for my business and the actual product that I sell. He's like, well, we don't do that. Talk to me. But then these are the kind of people that you need to speak to, innit? People that are actually open to hearing this stuff, innit? Because some people who could be there could say, oh, well, you're not doing as much as me, so why am I listening to you?
That's a lot of people's mindset.
But I will listen to someone who's not doing as much as me, because they might have a perspective, or they probably will have a perspective that I don't have.
Exactly.
Because I'm not them. So of course they have a different perspective.
That's it.
But anyway, sorry,
that's literally for another day. But thanks for tuning in, guys. I'm gonna put all Jonathan's details below. Honestly, I say this, let me share my friends, but I have to. He's a person you want to connect with, do you know what I mean? And definitely join the round table. I am in there. And I actually tell you something I learned. I learned what a VSL was because you shared it. VSL? It's a video sales letter. Back in the day, people would write letters and just be sending it out. But technology, you get the camera and be like, oh, hi guys. Do you know what I mean? Obviously not that. Use words. Use English, because otherwise people will be a bit like, oh, what's wrong with that person? But yeah, I learned that, and it's really cool. And I learned what a hex code is. That's not from the round table. You know, I used that today.
I used it again?
No, I used my knowledge of what a hex code is today. Amazing. So my graphic designer sent me my logo for the Generation podcast. Big her up, I'll put her details below. And obviously I was like, oh, can you send me the hex codes of all the colours you use? Because obviously I'm going to create some graphics myself, so I need to know what colours we use. Yeah. And I felt so cool. I was like, hey babe, can you send me the hex codes, please? She'll be looking at you like, what do you know about hex codes? Yeah. I don't know about hex codes. But anyway, that's going to be in the title.
What you know about hex codes?
What you know about hex codes?
Wham.
But yeah, guys, thanks for tuning in, and we're gonna see you next week.
See you later.
That was so good.
Yeah, you liked it, yeah?
Go you.
I liked it.
Loved it.
Yeah.
Yes. Wow. That was so good. It's 8:17. Almost 2 hours.
Look at the time like that. 2 hours.
Almost, yeah, because we started almost 2 hours, isn't it?
I found it good, man.